I now have the privilege to honor a dear friend of mine, Penny Pritzker, with the 2018 Transatlantic Leadership Award. It was Penny who first reached out to me and invited me into then-candidate Barack Obama's world. And I think it's safe to say that but for that, I would not be standing here tonight. And it means a great deal to me personally that you're with us here tonight, Penny, so thank you. Penny Pritzker is the founder and chairman of PSP Partners and its affiliates, Pritzker Realty Group, PSP Capital, and PSP Growth. She has long been engaged in public affairs. During President Obama's first term, she served on the President's Economic Recovery Advisory Board and on his Council on Jobs and Competitiveness. Then, during his entire second term, Penny Pritzker served as the 38th United States Secretary of Commerce. I was very lucky because Penny's time as Secretary of Commerce almost precisely overlapped my time as ambassador. We worked together on economic and trade issues and spent many hours discussing TTIP. Remember that one, folks? When the European Court, citing privacy concerns, issued a ruling that invalidated the safe harbor framework that was allowing for transoceanic data flows, Penny personally negotiated Privacy Shield, which allowed for data transmissions to continue uninterrupted. This didn't get a lot of attention, but let me tell you, it was a huge deal for European and American businesses. And it was Penny who convinced the president to commit the United States to be the official partner nation of the 2016 Hanover Messe. She brought him to Hanover for what would be his 5th visit as president to Germany, and she then led the largest ever U.S. delegation to that Messe. And if you don't know, the Hanover Messe is the world's foremost trade fair for industrial technology. Penny Pritzker is an entrepreneur, civic leader, and philanthropist. With more than 25 years of business experience, she has founded numerous companies and served on many boards, including Hyatt Hotels Corporation, William Wrigley Jr. Company, and LaSalle Bank Corporation, and she chaired the board of TransUnion. But one of Penny's passions is workforce preparedness and economic opportunity. She and her husband, Brian Traubert, made several trips to Germany to see vocational apprenticeship programs at work, including at Siemens. She has been an ardent proponent of looking to the German dual system of apprenticeship training as a means to narrow the skills gap, ensure workers can maintain employability, and help sustain a modern manufacturing workforce in increasingly competitive global markets. With the Aspen Institute, Penny founded Skills for America's Future, a creative initiative meant to focus on meeting employer talent and skills needs, while at the same time creating economic mobility for the unemployed and the underemployed across the United States. And most recently, with the Council on Foreign Relations, she co-chaired a landmark study on the subject. Her efforts exemplify how our two countries can learn from and share with one another for the betterment of citizens in both countries. Penny believes that the transatlantic relationship is not a zero-sum game, but one that is truly mutually beneficial on a myriad of issues. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating Penny Pritzker as I present her with ACG's 2018 Transatlantic Leadership Award.
Joe, I know what you mean. No one talks about me this way, so I don't recognize the person that you've been flattering, John. It's a terrific honor to be here this evening and to receive this award. I'm really humbled by this and very grateful. I'm also grateful to be here with my friend and fellow honoree, Joe Kaeser. You heard from him, you heard from his heart, you heard the Joe Kaeser that I got to know, which is a man who is very sensitive, but a man with enormously great courage. A leader of a company that is global in every standard, but a leader who understands that it's his responsibility and the responsibility of that company, not just to its shareholders, but to the global society. And that's the kind of leadership that absolutely deserves the award that you received tonight, Joe. And Joe, you were a terrific partner to me and my team at Commerce. I really appreciated all the partnership and great work that we did together. And tonight is a very well-deserved honor for you, and it's a privilege for me to be here this evening with you. Ambassador Emerson, my friend, thank you very much for asking me to be here tonight. You are simply indefatigable. You know, over the course of my term, I worked with many great ambassadors. But John, I think it's fair to say that none of them surpassed the passion and boundless enthusiasm you brought to the job. And I dare say most of the people in this room know what I'm talking about. You know, both the United States and Germany were fortunate to have your leadership, and the relationship between our countries is stronger for it. Dr. Sokol and the American Council on Germany, I want to thank you for the work that you do. You know, relationships between our countries don't just happen. And for 70 years, this organization has done incredible cross-border work. But you've also done it across generations, and that's what's important, the sustainability of your efforts. And that's not possible without all of you here tonight. And so I thank you for your support of this organization, and I really thank the organization for providing a deeper and more nuanced understanding of the relationship between Germany, Europe as a whole, and the entire transatlantic partnership. All of us are thankful for these efforts day in and day out. They promote engagement and ensure mutual respect between our countries, between the United States and Europe. I want to take just one moment and acknowledge the passing of President Herbert Walker Bush, who played such an enormous role in shaping the relationship between the United States and a unified Germany. His dignity, his quiet grace is something that I dare say we miss. As a general matter, I think we're well served by former officials ceding the stage to current office holders. And so for that reason, since leaving office, I have been somewhat reticent about participating in events like this evening. But this event and this organization are special, primarily because I genuinely believe that the relationship between the United States and Germany is special, essential, in fact, in today's increasingly complicated world. And during my time as secretary, strengthening economic ties between the United States and Germany was among one of my top priorities. And it was not just because I love Germany, I like the German people, I really love German food, though I do. It was because our partnership was and is vital to getting things done globally. We worked incredibly closely with the German government on issues ranging from TTIP to the Privacy Shield to the Ukraine crisis, just to name a few. And this is not to suggest that our countries agreed on everything, because we didn't. But our partnership thrived because we share, and I believe continue to share, certain core values: an abiding faith in freedom and democracy, a commitment to training, educating, and supporting a vibrant workforce, a deep belief that innovation is the lifeblood of economic dynamism, and a dedication to constructive engagement in international affairs. Of course, I'm not naive, although sometimes my kids think I am. At times, it does feel that this foundation is being shaken. But I wanted to come here this evening because I wanted to share what I believe is a critical message for this moment. Contrary to what you might hear from some, the US-German and the broader US-European partnership is not a relic of the past. It is a vital necessity of today and for our future. But what we know now is the strength of our relationship is not a given. We can no longer take it for granted or assume that it is inherently self-sustaining. We need to work at it, and that means everyone in this room has a role to play, as business leaders and as citizens, in the effort to preserve the transatlantic partnership that has helped foster more than 7 decades of relative peace and prosperity. As leaders, we need to follow the example of the Council in championing the importance of this relationship. With that, let me close and say thank you again for this honor. I'm looking forward to the conversation and to your questions.